Perhaps you are the problems. We live in the world that many people love to blame others people for their problems. They said that this has happened because of this person's fault, because of the world fault, because of society fault. It's not their fault. Recently, I saw somebody complain on social media, and my first instinct right away was, you were actually the problem. He pointed out on the reason why the problem is not him. Basically, that he posted on social media said that why nobody want to hang out with him, why he didn't have a girlfriend. And then he blamed on his race, he blamed on his ethnicity. He blamed that because he have a certain color, that girl doesn't find him attractive, that they don't want to date him, that they don't want to hang out with him. They will make pre-assumption based on his race, based on his ethnicity, and there's nothing he can do about it. He said that it's not fair for him, and he also asked God for mercy not making assumption based on his race. And then I was paused and thinking, you asking for other people to understand you? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. That's not how the world works. We are human beings and we judge. I have mentioned this so many times. We like to say that we shouldn't judge, but everybody judging each other. Everybody criticizes each other, especially when you were born with different races. And this guy literally asking for girls not to judge based on their race. Yes, if you live in perfect world, they won't do it, right? Asking other people for their mercy means that you let other people control your life. You let others decide what they want to do with your life, instead of you are the one in control of your life. It's easy to blame our circumstances. It's easy to blame that we were not born as a white person. It's easy to blame that we was born poor. It's easy to blame that we were born with a red hair, with a black hair, and then make assumption that, oh, nobody want to hang out with black hair. Nobody want to hang out with me because I have a dark color, because I have a yellow color, because I have a brown color, whatever that is. Basically, through this guy example, what I want to point out is, although some of the reasons that he pointed out were valid, I didn't say that, I didn't diminish that, oh, those are bullshit and not valid reasons. No, they were a valid reason. But the reason I pointed out is, even though they are seem like quote-unquote a valid reason, the problem occurs when people use these reasons to justify for their average choices, to justify for their not doing anything at all, to not do anything to improve their life. That's when these reasons become bullshit. It's easy to blame anything else but ourselves, because it's the easiest thing to do in the world, to blame something else, to blame other people. Oh, it's other people's fault that they not hanging out with me. Or it's other people's fault that they make an assumption on me. Everything is on other people and there's nothing wrong with me. So basically that's what's going on. And when we blame others for whatever reason, even if it's valid, we give our power away. We avoid taking responsibility for our life. And that is not acceptable as a fearless warrior. I know it's really hard to hear this, but let me say it again, it doesn't matter how much valid it is. If you want something, you have to do whatever it takes. Yes, maybe your ethnicity are not supporting you, are not in your favor. So what? Use it as a motivation to prove everybody wrong that even though it's difficult, I still accomplish things that I want. Maybe you tell yourself that it's really hard for you to date other women because of your color. And guess what? You will find all the reason to justify, to support why your decision, why your reason is right. And you will fight it. But instead of become a victim mentality and say, oh, okay, there's nothing I can do. Prove everyone that even though it's difficult, use it as a motivation to push through the hard time. To prove to everyone that even though you don't have all the privileges like others, you still accomplish what you want. That's when others will look at you with admire. That's what you want to do. Instead of just blaming others and do nothing about it and asking people for mercy. No fucking shit that gonna work. Okay, let me give you some of the examples that people often complain about. They complain that why don't they have a girlfriend? And they blame on race, ethnicity, their height, their body, and they told that, oh, because of their parents, because of the way they was raised, everything but themselves. Easy, right? Easy to say those things, and guess what? Hey, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not my fault. It's life's fault. They also complain like, why doesn't anyone want to hang out with them? They said that they blame that, oh, people are weird. Or people in this state are ridiculous. They are close-minded. Oh, culture in this state is so different. It's not my fault. They complain about why do they get unfair treatment at work. They said that, oh, because of their skin color. Oh, because of their accent. Oh, because of their hair. Okay, again, one more time, I'm not saying that these are not valid, okay? They are sometimes valid, right? But look at how these Thai people often try to blame anything else but themselves. Some people even also complain about like, oh, online dating doesn't work. And they said that, oh, because of their race. Girls only like white guy and black guy, whatever that is. And then they complain that, oh, girls are so picky. Girls are so superficial on online dating. Anything else but on the girls. Although some are true. But maybe this is time for them to look at themselves and ask, maybe I have a fucking silly profile. Maybe I need to upgrade myself. Maybe I need to take a lot of great pictures. That's the thing. They want to blame anything else but themselves. They post on their profile on online dating that's their bullshit selfie in the bathroom and expecting that the girl will like them and expecting that a girl will swipe right on them. No fucking shit that gonna happen. Just imagine that. You have lots of options. Every time you swipe right, you will get matched. You're gonna become very picky as well, right? Exactly. So the only way for you to get a girl to go on a date with you is your profile have to be excellent. I'm not saying good. If your profile only good, there's no way you're gonna get exceptional result. Your profile must be excellent, if not exceptional, if not perfect. That's why I said it's a lot of hard work. And usually people try to avoid it because it's easier to blame anything else but themselves. It's easy to blame on girls for, it's easy to blame on technology, it's easier to blame on culture. Anything but themselves. So I challenge you from today to start taking responsibility for your life. Acknowledge all the excuses, all the reason why this has happened to me. Remember, whatever reason that you have, they are valid. But acknowledge it as it is and do something about it. And use it as a motivator. One of the things that I stopped blaming for myself that I used to did is I said to myself that not many people want to hang out with me because of my skin color. And this is what I did. And then I came online, I went on Reddit, I went on so many websites to prove that, hey, because of my skin color, nobody wants to hang out with me. And you know what? I found all the sources, I found all the evidence to prove my point is right. If you want to try to prove your point is right, you can always find a reason to prove to yourself that you are right. But by doing so, you will become more victim. When you prove that your point is right, you're gonna feel so good about yourself and you will do nothing at all. You will do nothing to change your life. That's not what we want. Let me tell you this. Whatever reason, whatever excuses that you come up with, you can always find an evidence to support to your point. It's kind of like if you told me that white cops are bad. I guarantee you can go online and find all the videos to show that how bad a cop is. And then you try to forget, you try to ignore that. There are also so many videos to show that there's so many good cops out there. You can tell me that, oh, people nowadays are bad, and you can find all the reason of gun violence out there, show that people are bad. But you also forget that there's so many good people out there doing a good thing every day. So what I'm trying to say is, stop blaming others for your shortcomings. Stop blaming others why you haven't succeeded yet. And I challenge you, it doesn't matter how valid a reason is. Take a step back, acknowledge that reason, push them aside, and start taking responsibility for your life. Start changing yourself. If other people don't want to hang out with you, perfect. Raise your value. Improve your value. Upgrade yourself. Make yourself so valuable that others can't help but want to hang out with you, want to make a connection with you. Improve yourself to the point that others can't ignore you. That's the whole thing that I want to say today. The reason people blame everything else but themselves is because they don't want to put in the work needed to be done. Because they let the ego take over. They let the ego take control of their life. It's easy to not take in responsibility for ourselves. And again, I'm not trying to say that you should ignore all the problems that cause you not getting what you want. Acknowledge them, but use them as a motivation to work even harder to prove everyone that even though I have a difficult situation, even though I have a difficult circumstances, I still succeed in the end. I still accomplish what I want in the end. Just imagine that. Just imagine just for a second. Even though you were born poor, but in the end, if you succeed and make a lot of money, become a billionaire, what do people think? They will so admire you, right? Just imagine that. But if you were born in a rich or wealthy family, and in the end you also make a lot of money, people will like, okay, awesome. But they don't truly admire you. Because they said it's easy. Anyone can do it if they in a rich or wealthy family. But if you can go against the odds, use it as motivation and do it. Instead of blame circumstances and do nothing at all. Maybe you were born not attractive. Sure, so what? Prove to everybody that look is not everything. Working on yourself so much that girls can't ignore you. And prove to everyone that no matter what life threw at me, I still make it happen. That's the mindset of the successful people. That's the mindset of the 3% of the world, of the 1% of the world. Whatever percentage that you want, you come up with. But basically, very few people have this mindset. Embrace it. Take responsibility for your life. Prove to everyone that you can do this. You can succeed in the end. I hope you enjoyed this episode and got a value out of it. And if you did, please leave a great review. That will help this channel grow. And if you have any question, email me. And as always, you guys are badass action taker. Until next time, thank you.